We will soon be discussing the origin life itself. There are two theories for this called the genes first and the metabolism first theories. They are both arguing about how life became organized from basic molecules. However, both of them need basic molecules already present to even get started. This biologic development of life cannot begin before there is chemical development to even have chemical molecules to then later get organized and then to have life. Molecules are made out of elements. Elements are all of the types of atoms that are listed on the periodic table that we learned in high school chemistry class. Examples of some of these are oxygen, carbon, and nitrogen. Each of these are made of individual atoms. A molecule is formed when many individual atoms or elements combine, so molecules are made up of different individual elements. A very simple example is table salt, which is sodium chloride. Salt is the molecule made up of sodium and chloride atoms. Salt is an example of an inorganic molecule. There are also organic molecules, and these are different from inorganic molecules, and it is these organic molecules that are found in life. To say they are the building blocks of life is such an understatement and implies that they are simple, like blocks. How demeaning. They are foundational and essential for life, so in this sense they are the building blocks of life. But let's not overlook the complexity and intricacy of even the most basic portions of our universe. It is precisely because of this attribute of organic molecules being essential for life that we need to have an explanation of the origin of these molecules through chemical evolution. If the Big Bang threw the elements across the universe, how did they get organized into the chemicals that make life? This has to happen or there is no life, and evolutionists say this is an unsolved problem. It remains a problem because evolution cannot be true unless there is chemical evolution, but chemical evolution is unproven. Evolution cannot be true if the chemicals that life is made of could not have evolved. Chemical evolution is a separate problem from biologic evolution, and it is a necessary condition for evolution to be true. You do not need to be a chemist to formulate this solution. If there is no way that chemicals could have evolved, then there is no way to later have biologic evolution, and therefore evolution logically cannot be possible. Further study. The genes first model needs DNA, and the metabolism first model needs RNA. The structures of both DNA and RNA are exceedingly complex. These are not inorganic molecules, and they are not simple organic molecules. Both theories are completely dependent on chemical evolution being true first. So what do we know about how the molecules that are essential for life ever came into existence according to evolution? The journal Chemistry and Biodiversity in the article, The Origin of Life, A Problem of History, Chemistry, and Evolution, discusses this topic as, the origin of life is a field full of controversies, not only because of our vague understanding concerning the relevant issues, but also, perhaps more often, owing to our dim conceptual framework throughout the whole field. And, basically, we can ask about the possibility of any assumed event in the origin of life. Is it evolutionarily plausible, chemically feasible, and historically likely? Evolutionists are still discussing if the origin of life is even chemically feasible, much less biologically possible. The journal Nature Chemistry, in the referenced article discussing chiral encoding and the origin of life, concludes, the route by which the complex and specific molecules of life arose from the prebiotic soup remains an unsolved problem. They say, it is especially difficult to contemplate in the chemical chaos of the prebiotic world, and the notion that RNA was the first self-replicator carries many difficulties. All theories for the origin of life have the same chemical development problems, and this is unproven. The basic question is very simple. Was the atmosphere and environment of the ancient oceans able to create the chemical molecules that make up life or not? Evolutionists say it remains an unsolved problem. It is a published fact in peer-reviewed scientific journals that chemical evolution remains an unsolved problem.